Okay, I think in the previous class we have started, some of the concepts of. I think we have completed input output. One program, right? One program we have written, small program. Other than that, we have already completed what is branching instructions, addressing modes, exactly right. So those things and all we have completed, and in the today's, and even we have done additional instructions, right? Some logical shift towards right, logical shift towards left. Okay, shifting operation. Along with the shifting operation, we have also done a rotation operation. Rotate, logical rotate towards right, logical rotate towards left, right? So that instructions and all we have done in the previous class. Okay, so I think in the today's class we are going to take some of the assembly level language instructions. So what and all assembly level language instructions consisting of? Okay, a small introduction. We are not going to study all assembly level language, all coding and all. We are not going to study. Only a few basic, as a basic. What are the codes we are using? Okay, in the assembly level language as a beginner. I think we have already done, actually. We have done with that anyway. So what and all we have done is, suppose I'm writing the instructions, right? What instruction we are going to write actually? Suppose I'm going to write here move. See here, move. This is one instruction, right? Instruction move A, comma R naught, isn't it? This is one of the instruction. So what is this? We know already this is operational code, that is opcode. This is operand 1. This is operand 2, isn't it? This is operation code. This is opcode. This is operand and operand 2. Okay, I write it as opcode. Opcode means what? Operation code. What operation you want to do? Move operation I want to do. Okay, what you're going to move, I'm moving the data, okay, from first this source to destination. From this source to destination, I'm going to make a movement. Okay, move the data from A to R naught. Okay, so I think it's like one of the operand. We can also call it as source. Okay, op1, op2, like this. Other than move, what and all we have studied. Okay, add, right? This is also one. Add a comma b, right? Add a comma b means what? This is also one of the instruction. Okay, assembly level language instruction. Okay, move add a comma b means the content of a will be added to content of b. This is one kind of instruction, isn't it? So like that, we know subtract, right? So subtract, just write here sub a comma b. I hope you are clear. Okay, so sub a comma b means the content of a will be subtracted with the content of b. That's all. Okay, so these add, subtract. Okay, so these kind of opcodes. So this and all, no, this complete the way we are writing, no, this is known as assembly level language. Okay, this code is known as assembly level language coding. Okay, so and here what I'm going to tell you is, this is nothing but this opcodes and all, no. So this opcodes sub sub you should write as it is. We can't write subtract completely. SUB is the standard code. Okay, standard mnemonic code. These are all mnemonics. Okay, so instead of MOV, see MOV. So there is a the mnemonic code is MOV. MOV we can use. Okay, so add only we have to add. We can't write addition. Okay, so we don't have such kind of instruction. So like this here also, suppose I have instead of MOV, I have written MOV. Okay, then it is wrong. It won't be understandable. Okay, so what is the meaning? Your opcode should be MOV. Your opcode should be add. Your opcode should be increment. So branch. Sometimes see BR is the one mnemonic code. Okay, I think other than BR, even we can write branch. BR ANCH, right? So like branch means what? Branching. Okay, so with some condition I will check it out. Okay, if that condition holds good, then I will go to branch it. Okay, so like this we have a mnemonic code. Okay, and here in the even in the yesterday's class we have done one more word. So what is that we have done? Rotate left. See here, rotate right? We have done, no? I think we have done like this: rotate left #2, comma, okay, or not. This is also one of the code. This is also one of the code which I have written in assembly language. Okay, these are all the examples of my assembly level language code. I hope you are clear. Okay, so like this we have in move, add, increment, branching, and addition, subtract, rotate left, rotate right, rotate left with carry, without carry, isn't it? So these are all examples of my assembly level language code instruction. And this opcode, whatever you write, that should be the proper mnemonic codes. Okay, so proper mnemonic codes, the standard mnemonic codes. Okay, MOV for move, uh, ADD for addition, INC for increment, like that. Okay, now, okay, like this you have to maintain a proper mnemonic codes. Okay, so I think even there is some example they have provided here, so I'll just make this a little bit zoom. Okay, I think you are able to see this very clear. Okay, so this is one of the example program. Okay, you are able to understand this program, but why I've taken this program is to explain how to write the assembly level language code. So just see here. So this particular code is sum. See here, first instruction. If you see this, sum EQU 200. As soon as you see this code, you didn't get, no, you are not able to understand anything. What is that EQU? What it will do? But you can make out few things. What are those? This example, MOVE n comma R1 means move n data from n to R1. This you are able to understand, isn't it? You are able to, because you're already aware of it. And even here, CLR or not. What is CLR or not? No, I don't know. Then what you should know, this particular opcode or this particular mnemonic code you should know, isn't it? Yeah, CLR means clear the content of register or not, like this. Here DEC means decrement the content of or not. Okay, I think you are able to understand. Okay, few codes you are able to understand. Move is what I think you know what is add. Okay, I think these things you know already. Add and clear, move, this you know already. Okay, other than this, there's some other instructions are there known as assembler directives. These are all assembler directives. What are those assembler directives? They're direct, they won't do any work. Okay, they're not part of your program. Okay, so just they will give the guidelines, do like this, do like that. Okay, so that is what directives. For whatever the program you'll write, for that I required some directions. That kind of directions is given by assembler directives. What are those assembler directives? Just see here. The first example for assembler directive is EQU. Please make a note of this first example. In exam, what they'll ask, explain the assembler directives in the assembly level language. Okay, at that time you have to take the first one. What's the first one? EQU you should take. What is that EQU? EQU is one of the assembler directives. Okay, so it will tells you equate the data. Equate the data. What's the meaning of equate? Equate means, so we have a here sum. Okay, for sum you just equate the value 200. That's all. Okay, so sum is equal to 200. Okay, so that is done because of EQU direction. Okay, one of the directives. Okay, assembler directives will tells you, please, so whatever you have in the left side, no, that is known as your labeling part. This is known as label part. This known as operations, opcodes. So these are said to be address or operands. Okay, so this is opcode. Your program should be opcode and operands, right? So OP1, OP2, OP1, operand 1, operand 2. Okay, this is operation. Okay, so here sometimes I don't require two operands, means I'll write only one like that. So this also we can call it as addressing or data information. This part is addressing or data information. This part, this is nothing but operation or opcode part. This left side is known as labeling part. Okay, these are all labels. So some labels I require. So that is only I'm explaining actually what and all I require as a label. Okay, so whenever I'll take the first example, equate. So what is equate means? Just okay, for the sum, just equate the value 200. That's all. So this is what equate assembler directives tells. Over with equate. Then I'll go to second one. Second one assembler directive is origin. Here origin. Just here origin. Origin means, okay, what's the origin means? So whatever the program you are going to write now, that complete program, you have to write it in the memory, right? You have a memory, you have to type your program and store it in memory. That starting address of your memory will be 204. Starting address will be what? 204. Okay, it is something like it is, you know, giving the exact address to your program. Okay, whatever you type your program, that should be stored in the memory with the address. What's the address? 204. Okay, that is what origin means, the address. Okay, address information, okay, from where your program should be stored in the memory. Okay, that is what origin. Please make a note of this. Okay, now second one, origin I've completed. So just any program, whatever you type it, no, that should be loaded into the memory. So where I should load, what's the starting address? That is what origin will give. Okay, I think I've done origin. Please make a note of all these directives. This is actually one 10 marks question they used to ask. Okay, then data word. I'll take third data word. Just see your data word. This is also one of the assembler directive. All are not assembler directives. Whatever I'm explaining, only assembler directives only I'm explaining. So third assembler directive is data word. Okay, just see your data word. N data word 100. So what's the meaning of this? For N, okay, N is a data word. What's the meaning of data word? N is one of the data word. Okay, so it will be just here, just hear this particular sentence. So N equal to 100. Okay, here also N equal to 100 only. So what's the value of N? So go to memory. So what value are going to keep it? So the value you are going to keep it is 100, but it is a data word. What's the meaning of data word? Okay, you have to reserve some 100 or to 100 some 3 bytes. So this should be some 3 bytes or 4 bytes. Okay, so it's not only 1 byte, 2 or 3 bytes or 4 bytes. Like that, it's one of the word. Or word means what? Consisting of, okay, consecutive bytes. Like that it should be. So N is equal to 100 only I've entered, but it's a word. It is not a character. It's not like that. It's a data word. Okay, some consecutive number of bytes you have to allocate. Like that. N is one of the data word. You will give one example. No? N is an array. N is an integer type. N is a list. Okay, so like that. No, in the similar way, N is a data word. Okay, and what's the value? I'm going to store it inside that 100. That's all. Okay, so both are same only, equated data word, but here it is just numerical value you are going to store. Here you're keeping the value 100, along with it it's a byte. Okay, so it should completely hold 3 bytes or 4 bytes. Okay, so next is reserve. Reserve is also one of the assembler directives. Please make a note of this. I think I've done third one. Data word andre yenilla. Okay, N is of type data word. It's a word. It's not a byte. It's a word. Okay, and value inside that I'm going to keep it as 100. That's all. Reserve means just here. Reserve 400. Reserve 400 means for number 1. Okay, for number 1 variable, you have to reserve 400 bytes. Okay, I'm just show you here. See here. Suppose here I'm going to have a number NU M1. Okay, please assume. Okay, this is number 1. Okay, I'll write it here. You are able to see, I think. Okay. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'll take new one. Okay, I'll write it. Just here, I'm explaining data reserve for reserve. See here, for number, for this is number 1. Okay, for this number 1, I'm going to reserve how much they have given 400 bytes. This 400 bytes will be reserved for number 1. It's like an array. You know, no array. Suppose I'll write it here. A of 10 means what? So you're going to allocate, okay, 10 bytes of space, right? In a similar manner, you're going to allocate 400 bytes for number 1 variable. Okay, that is what reserve. Please make a note of this. What is reserve? Okay, now I think reserve, I hope you have understood. Okay, so please make a note of this. Equate I've explained, origin I've explained, data word I have explained, reserve word. Okay, reserve I have explained. Then go to the next one. Okay, so the next one is after that reserve. Just see the next one. Okay. Yeah, just a minute. Oh, just a second. I'm just uploading the previous presentation. Okay. Okay, pa. Anyway. Okay, now. So I think you're able to see the slide now, right? Okay. I think I've completed even reserve. Reserve is over. Then come to next one. See, here we have one more origin. Here also the same thing only. So what is this origin? Please make a note in your book. See, second origin means after your program will be converted into machine level, okay, or okay, object program. So where I should store that program in the memory, that address is 100. Hope you're clear. This origin means whatever the assembly level language you type now, that will be stored from the starting address 204. But after your program converted it into machine level or object program, that object program will be stored in the memory with the address 100. Okay, that is second origin. First origin is, suppose in a simple example, your higher C program you will write now. That C program will be stored in the memory with the starting address 204. Okay, now. But your program will be after compilation, it will be converted it into machine level language, right? So that code will be stored in which memory address? Okay, that address is origin 100. Okay, now I think you are cleared with what is first origin, what is second origin. Okay, and now see, move, this move, clear, add, this are all okay. These are all not assembler directives. These are all mnemonic codes. Okay, I think you are able to understand. These are all mnemonic codes. Move is an op code, clear is an op code, operational code. Okay, add is an operational code. Okay, so these are all directives. They're direct your program. Okay, do like this, reserve something, you keep this data as data word, like that. Directives. They are not doing any operation there. Okay, so just go to the next one. Next assembler directive is the return. Return means what? So after you have executed, after this complete program has been executed, you go to some address, returns to your, where you have where you have called. No, some program has called to you. So go back to that particular address or go back to that called program back. That is what return. Return will indicates return where somebody has called you. So go back to that particular location. Okay, so that's what return. I think your return you are able to understand very clearly. Okay, return is the assembler directives will direct you to go back to your called program where you have called. No, there you have to go back. Right now, I should go back to the calling program. Okay, whichever is called me. Suppose this is the main program which has called this sub function. So I should go back to the main function like that. Next is end. End is also one of the assembler directive. So what's the end will do? Okay, after the execution of complete program has been started, the completed execution has been started. Now we have to do an assembly level language to machine level language converted data need to be executed. Okay, so as I said you, we have a assembly level language program converted into machine level language program. Okay, so machine level language program, okay, will be stored in the address 100. Here 100 at the 100th location I have a machine level language code, the same program converted into machine level language. So this machine level program need to be executed again. Machine level language program need to be executed. That is what start indicates. Okay, after you have written the program, complete program, Okay, yeah, obviously every line will be converted into machine level language that you have kept inside the address 100, starting address 100. Okay, like that continuously. So that I want to execute one more time. That is why start means execute the machine level language code. Okay, this is the directives actually. No need to relate the program. This is the directives. So I think equate, nothing but just equate the value. Okay, sum is equal to 200. Origin means your program should be loaded into main memory. Okay, that's starting address. Data word means now n is a data word. It's of type data word. I'm going to keep the data 100 inside that. Number one, I'm going to reserve 400 bytes. Okay. A return means if your main program called you, okay, so just return to the called program. Okay. End means, okay, now your program need to be execute machine level language program. Okay, that means go to your memory wherever you have a object program, so execute that. Okay, that is what start indicates. End with start indicates. Okay, so I think these are all the examples of assembler directives. Okay, now this is what I think. Even you have one loop. See here, if this condition holds good, okay, branch greater than, okay, greater than or equal to, if this is the case, then go to loop. Okay, this is also one of the directive loop. Go to the this particular loop if this condition holds good. Okay, these are all example. Okay, don't consider this one. This is not, this is a branching instruction. This is not assembler directives. Okay, so these are the examples. Now can you type for me what are the assembler directives? One by one type ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು answer. Which are all assembler directives I have explained you. Just type it so that I'm able to make out here, uh, which is in this code. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ code ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. Yeah, here only I've given a code. No, all assembler directives ನೀವು ಬರಿಬೇಕು. Only EQ ಅಲ್ಲ, all program I've given there. ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, you are able to see on the screen. Okay, now so now you type assembler directives. Data word, okay, Hemant, correct. EQU correct. Origin correct. ಇನ್ಯಾವುದು ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? EQ or origin data word ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? Yeah, someone has written very good. ಯಾರದು? ಶ್ರೀಹರ್ಷ, superb. ಶ್ರೀಹರ್ಷ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. EQU origin data word reserve return end correct. Okay, ಆ ತರ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. That's what I require. Because ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ clear, add, decrement, all are there actually. Okay, but they are all not. Yeah, origin. Yeah, very good. Ali two origins there. You know, there are two origins are there. Differentiation ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. First originally your assembly level language program will be stored. Second originally machine level language code will be stored. The starting address available over there. Okay. Yeah, I think you are clear with this. Superb. Okay, the example ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. This is the exam. This only they will ask in the exam. Explain the assembler directives. In that time, you have to explain all this. Okay, we have explanation. The same thing only, whatever I have explained, put it in the slide actually. Then come to the very important topic, stack and queue. Okay, I think you are already aware of stack and queue, right? What is stack? Anybody knows? But have you heard about stack? Stack and queues? Yeah, so I'll just show you. Stack is nothing but it's a data structure. Okay, it's a data structure which is used to store the data. Okay, suppose I have a data. Assume, okay, this is a data with ABC. Three data are there. Okay. Yes or no? Because then explain, see, when I want to explain you, I should know. If you know, it is a different aspect. If you don't know, I have to explain in some other way. Because this is not, the data structure is not my part of work. But I want to know whether you know this stack and queue. Don't know the concept, it's okay. I will take a little bit concept and I'll explain and I'll go forward. No, ma'am, we already studied data in the stack and queue done already in the DS means, okay, then I will, whatever required, that only I'll explain. Yeah. Gottilla, don't, no, you not yet completed. I think you're supposed to study in data structure actually. Okay. See, we have a very depth knowledge of, we require a very depth knowledge of data structure, particularly stack and queue, that you are going to study in the data structure only. Okay. So I don't want, very detailed concept. I just want, regarding my computer organization. Only that much I will tell you. That's enough. Okay. So data structure means what? Means data structure such as a stack. Okay. First in, first out, last in, first out. Okay, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನವೀನ್ಗೆ. Okay, see, whenever I'm going to have a data, you see, A, B, C are 3 data, no? So I want to keep this data. Okay, how to keep it in one order, no? How to keep in order? First, suppose I will read A, andre, first I will take A. Next I will read B, and next B. Next when I see C, means I'll store this, no? I'll store like this in order. So it tells, okay, A is first I have read, B next I have read, and C third I have read, isn't it? Okay, so next time, sometimes what happens, okay, A I have first read, I'll keep it here. Then second B, next to C, I can keep it in some order, isn't it? I have to store the data in some order. Okay, for that purpose only, they have used some data structures. Okay, ordering of the data. How to order? 2 types are one is stack, one is queue. Stack and renilla, very simple. Take A, okay, store it here. Okay, I'll kept A here. Okay, first data I've kept as A. Next, after A, which is my next data, B. I'll take B. Okay, now then I'll store it here. B. Over, B over. Then take C. Okay, I'll take C and I'll keep it inside the stack now. Yes, I've kept it inside the stack, isn't it? Now, which data you will take out now? See, you have only one door here. Okay, one door here. A, B, C there. If you want to take out the data, which data you are going to take? Yeah, exactly. Very good. We are going to take the C only because I can't take B. It's only one door. Only one door. One door means only one side open. Okay. Now I am taking C first. Okay. C I have taken out. Okay. So I have taken C. Okay. After C I have taken out. It's over now. Then which data I'm going to see now? B. Next I'll read B. Next I will read which data? A. Isn't it? That means what? Last, whichever I have inserted inside the stack will be I'm seeing first. Okay, last in, first out. LIFO. LIFO means last data whichever I have inserted into the stack, that is said to be first out. Okay, so C I have kept last, isn't it? Okay, so as I said you here one operation I want to tell you in stack. Suppose I have A means I've inserted into the stack. This operation is known as push operation. Okay, if the data I'm going to insert into the stack, then that particular operation is said to be pushing the data into the stack. Okay, that is why push operation. Okay, now I push the data A. After A I've pushed it, even I want to take out the data back. Okay, that operation is known as pop operation. So you will study, very depth concept you are going to study in data structure. Okay, so that's why I don't want to explain much. Required concept I'll explain you. Suppose I want to take out the data from the stack, means what I should do? One operation. What is that operation? Pop operation. Okay, pushing the data into the stack, popping the data from the stack. Okay, so now I'll take out the data. That means what? Pop out the data. So I'll just pop out the data. Okay, now A is outside. So no data in the stack now. I remove it. I hope you are clear. Okay, pushing the data into the stack. I said you already, stack is a data structure. Data structure means what? An ordered way of arranging the items. That's all data structure. Okay, there is one more is there known as Q. Q is there one more. So Q is like this. Two doors are there for this. Okay, this is one door. This is one more door. Okay, what I will do first, I will take A, B, C. Three is there, no, three data. First, what is my data? A, I'll take. Okay, I'll just push the data into the queue now. So A will becomes here. A. After A, next which data? B, I'll take. B. After B, which data? C. C. I'm inserting the data from this end. A, B, C. Now I take out the data from this end. Okay, so inserting the data from the rear end, taking the data from the front end is said to be a queue. Enidu queue. See, we'll go to one shop, okay, to buy something. Okay, you will go to make the queue, right? So whoever is standing in the first place, he will be served first, isn't it? So first in, first out. Okay, whoever will be the first person, he will be served first. Okay, now. So A, B, C is there. So first I have entered A, next I have entered B, next I have entered C. Now which one will come out first? Who will come out first? A will come out first. But in stack, it's ulta. C will come out first. Okay, now. So here it is, whoever go first, he will be served first. That is why the logic here is first in, first out. First in, first out. In stack, it is last in, first out. It's this basic concept you should know. Okay, now. So in the similar manner, here also I have written one stack here. Okay, this stack is nothing but what in memory only. Here also we have a memory. This is not a separate stack, means separate space is not there. Here memory is one of the stack. See here, we have a memory available here. Just see the memory. You are able to see this memory, isn't it? See this is a memory. So I am able to write here. See, this is a memory. So usually memory starts with what? 0, 4, right? 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, like this, no, completely. But when the stack will come in, I'll take the, the maximum address I'll take first. Okay, bottom. Here is why. Suppose this is a 100th location. So this is my starting stack. Starting stack. Now this is the starting stack. Okay, starting location. 100 is my starting location. Okay, so now whatever data I will insert, then I'm going to insert to its next decrementing the address. What's the decrementing address of 100? Can you tell me? In terms of word is 4 byte. Non 4 byte again. Word is 4 byte actually. That you should keep it in your mind. ಈಗ decrementing ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Very good. Ankit, the first person to give the answer. Very good, Ankit. 96 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay. Suppose A I want to insert means what? A I want to insert, B I want to insert. Okay, I want to insert. So see, first you should know one thing. Suppose this is the starting 100 means this is actually first there will be 104 I'll take. Always 104 is the virtual address. Okay? So your stack will be started by 104, but first time I'll decrement it. First only we have to decrement it, and A will be kept here. So A is my data here. After A, again I'll decrement the address by 4. No, 96. Then I'll keep B here. Then after that I'm going to reduce again. So this becomes 90 is to 92 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so this becomes C. Okay, like this. Suppose my stack, no, I've reserved my stack capacity of my stack is only 4. Only 4 data items you are able to insert. I've given a one constraint to one constraint or one condition I've given to you. Only 4 items you are able to insert. So next what happens? A, B, C. Only 4 items means 100, 96, 92 and 88. 4 items are ishte reserve irutte. You will be reserved only this many space. Okay, you can't insert extra data into the stack now. You got 88. Okay, what will happen? 88 I have. So now I'm going to insert D. Okay, now suppose I want to insert one more data item. Tell you. Just a second, 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Just here we are going to have only 4 data items. We'll be having a space. See, 100 to 88 only. Okay. You can't use extra space over here because my stack I've reserved only for 4 items. Okay. Now, next time I want to insert one more element. Okay, new element I want to insert means it will say stack is full. See here, it will say stack is full. What it will give the message? It will give you the message stack is full. Okay, I hope you are clear. Yeah, very good, Ankit. You got the concept of stack is full. That particular situation is known as overflow condition. Overflow means what? Your given space will be already filled. It's overflow. If you insert one more item, it is overflow. You are not able to insert. Okay, that is a bottleneck problem. Okay, so that is what overflow. Stack is full. Okay, now after the stack is full, now I'm not supposed to insert any new item. Okay, I'll stop this. Now I'm going to delete the item. Okay, I'll pop out the items. How to pop out the items? Just I'll pop out. First item I'll pop out, which is my item D. Okay, I'll pop out first D. As soon as I've taken the D, I'm going to decrement the address. I will decrement the address. Okay, now C. Okay, now I'm going to have a C. This is over now. This space is free now. Next is C. I'll pop out C. Okay, after C I pop it out, decrement. Increment the address. Okay, it becomes 96 now. So next to B. I'll pop out B. Next, increment the address. Okay, I'll just increment the, see, just here, as soon as you are inserting the item, you are going to decrement the address. But as soon as you pop out the item, you are going to increment the address. So you are able to understand what I'm telling? Okay, so next increment again by 100. Okay, now for incremented, so 100 is the address. Now I pop out A also. Now again increment the address. So as soon as you incremented, you are reaching the 104. Stop it here. Okay. So this starting pointer is there. No, this starting pointer is known as a stack pointer. Stack pointer is the starting pointer. Okay. So it is denoted by -1. Location will be always denoted as a -1 location. Okay. So this indicates that this is the starting address of your stack, but you are not going to insert any data here. It's like a virtual address. That's all. Okay, next you are going to insert the decrement the SP by 4. Okay, 100 it becomes insert item. Okay, see, suppose one question to you. See, I've popped out all the items D, C, B, A. Suppose I want to do one more time pop, what will happen? I don't have any item here, right? Completely empty. Okay, and you're already in the 104. So you don't have item here at that 104 location. Now I want to pop one more item. What will happen? Yeah, very good. That is said to be a stack underflow or stack is empty, isn't it? One more. Is that other than stack underflow condition, we'll call one more name, stack empty. What is that? Stack is empty. Hope you're clear. Okay, so this is what actually, okay, so like that, whenever I'm going to do any operation, I require stack data structure. Okay, in the memory. In memory, I'm using memory in proper way means I require some data structure. What data structure? Stack data structure. Okay, Q also you can use, but as per the syllabus, they have not given any much explanation. Q is nothing but first in first out. Stack is nothing but last in first. Okay, so that's one example they have given, and sometimes see here one example also they have showed here. I just want to share that because it has been given in the notes actually. This example very clearly. See here, this is one of the stacks. I think you are able to see. This is a stack now. See here, stack. Okay, so we have see, this is initially stack pointer. Here is the stack pointer initially. Now it has been incremented. It has been reached here. That means what? You have already inserted 43, 739, 17, -28, 19. All the elements, some elements are already inserted. Suppose I want to insert one more item. Which is the new item? See here, 19 I want to insert. So where I should insert? So here I should insert. Okay. So suppose stack pointer is pointing here means, suppose I want to insert new item means what will happen? Decrement the SP, decrement it so that I'm going to reach this location and just insert this item 19. Okay, in a similar manner, suppose I want to pop the item. How can I pop the item? What I should do? First, increment the SP. Increment madre enagutta, you'll reach the next location. So by default, it indicates you you don't have any reference. So minus 28 is somewhat popped. Then if item that you are not removing actually, item will be there only, but there is no any pointer to point that location. That's all. Suppose if you are there in second year, if you are not admitted with fees and all, then it's something like you're not in our college by default. If you pay the fees and if you are admitted the college, then you are there. That's what, no, exactly. Otherwise, not paid the fees and you're not entered the college, you're not there actually. You don't have any reference in our college. Simple example, simple example I've taken, okay? So like that. Okay, next new item I want to take. One more item I want to pop out. So what I should do? Just decrement. Just take the SP. Okay, stack pointer. Okay, one location down. So what will happen by default? There is no proper pointer for a 17. By default, it indicates I've popped an item. That's all. I hope you are clear. Okay, so this is one example they have given in the textbook. The same example I've displayed on the screen. Okay, so here also code is there. Then code allows to because nimge exam idirli irutte DSL ottira ನೀವು already DSL ottira. Anyway, see, I'll show you just push operation. Push andre ಏನು? Push is the operation. What is the push operation? Push means ಏನಪ್ಪ push andra? Push operation means what? Even on stack ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. Yeah, inserting the item into the stack. Okay, so ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಇದು ಅಂದರೆ ಮೆಮೊರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಇದು. ಓಕೆ, ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಒನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಐಟಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಎರಡು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಮೈ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಯು 2 ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು 2000. ಸೊ 2000 ಇದು 1500. Okay, so lower address always upper end and higher address in the lower end. ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಇದು. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ. Okay, so from here your stack will be started. Now suppose this is 5000. See, ನೆನಪಿರಲಿ, you should know this. This is 1500. ಅಂದರೆ this is the overflow condition. If you reach 1500 means you are not able to insert any item ಅಂತ. If you reach 2000 ಅಂದರೆ you are not able to pop out any item, isn't it? Correct? You are getting my words? This is first location. Okay, insert one item, insert second item, insert third item, like this. You are go on inserting the items. But when you reach 1500, you are not able to insert further. This is the last memory location. Okay, so it just assume like that. Now you have to check the condition. Suppose your item is already filled. Fill agide, you are not able to insert a new item. Okay, that is why I used to first compare ಮಾಡಬೇಕು whether my stack is full or not. Okay, for that purpose compare #1500 with SP. Okay, so suppose my location is already there in 1500. 1500 means what? Already some item is here. Already ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದೆ, A, B, C, D. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತೀನಿ, I'll write it here. A, here B, here C, here D, already inserted. Here E. Okay, so 1500 location already you have E item. So at that time what will happen? It will display you a full error. Branch is lesser than or equal to 0 means what? Equal to 1500 means stack is full. You are not able to insert. Yake already 1500 ಅಲ್ಲಿ E available ಇದೆ. E is already available. Stack is full. Okay, suppose 1500 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ item. It's free now. This location free. At that time what I can do? Insert the new item into the stack pointer. Okay, so I'm going to insert the data into the stack pointer. What is my data I want to insert? Suppose X. Sorry, just do it. I hope you are clear. So ಇದು 1500 ಇದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಏನು ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅಪ್ಪ? D ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ? Suppose 4 words ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ. One word is equal to 4 bytes idre, adu 1500 idre, what is D data will be available in what address? Very good, 1496. Very good, 1496 irutte. Okay, so that means what? 1496 idre, 1496 if it is the condition, you are there at 1496, then you can insert the item. Okay, so insert the item, just insert the item. Okay, so you are able to insert the item. 1496 is there, means you are able to insert the item. Yes, because it is not 1500. Okay, so like that you are going to insert the item into the SP, and at that particular location you are going to insert the item, which one, X in the location. Okay, like that. I hope you are able to understand. Okay, so after that you are going to, after you have inserted the item into this location, you are going to pointer will be moved to 1500. So how to make that? So just make a this is push operation. No, so pushing is inserting the item. As soon as you have inserted 2000, this is ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ತಪ್ಪು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು 1696 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ತಪ್ಪಾಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಇದು ರಾಂಗ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ 2000 ಇದೆ ಇದು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಯಾ 4 ಅಂದರೆ 1095 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 1504 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, 1504 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಸೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ಡಿಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ತಾನೆ? ಇವಾಗ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ನೋಡಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ ಓವರ್ ದ. ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ 1504. So as soon as I have inserted the item, X I have inserted, then as soon as I have inserted the item, I should point my SP one place, next to that. That is why I am going to decrement it. As soon as I have decremented, it is pointing to 1500. Okay, this is pointing here 1500. Okay, so like that I am going to insert the item and then decrement the pointer. Ishte inenilla, insert the item, just decrement that pointer actually. Okay, so that is what actually one thing. ಇಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ, ಐ ಟೇಕ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ -1 0 ಈ ಥರ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 0 1 2 3 ಈ ಥರ ತೊಗೋಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಇಯರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ, ಐ ಟೇಕ್ 4 ಇಯರ್ 4 ತೊಗೊತೀನಿ. ಈ 4 ತೊಗೊತೀನಿ. ಈಗ 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು 3 ವರೆಗೂ ಮಾತ್ರ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು. ವೆನ್ 4 ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ 4 ವಿತ್ ಮೈ SP. ಓಕೆ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಮೈ SP ಇಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು 0 ನೋ. ಈಗ 0 ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ, SP ಅಂತ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. SP ಇಸ್ ನೋ -1. Yes, it is -1, right? Okay, SP is -1. Yes, both are not same. And as soon as they compare, it is not lesser than or equal to 0. Yes, because 0 is greater, I'm going to insert, pushing the item. Which item I have inserted? A I have inserted. Okay, now new item I have inserted into -SP. -SP ಅಂದರೆ ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ತಪ್ಪಾಯಿತು. 0 1 2 3 ಅಂತ ಕೊಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಎಂಡ್, ಇದು 100 ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ 100 ಅಂದರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ 96. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ 90 ಎಷ್ಟಪ್ಪ 94. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ 90. This is 90. 96 92, ಸಾರಿ 88 ಇದು. ಹೌದು, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ 88. ಅದರ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ 84 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು 84 ತೊಗೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ 84 ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ 84 ಬಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಮಾಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್. 84ಗಿಂತ ಲೆಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು 84ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ 84. 84 ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಮೋರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ 84 ಇದ್ರೆ ಯು ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ದ ಐಟಮ್. Okay, so that is what actually. So this is A, I have kept at 100 location. So B 96 location I am going to insert. C at 94, sorry 92, and at 88 I am going to insert D. So now what will happen if I want to insert means I have to check the condition here. So it becomes what? 84. But what is the condition? It should be greater than 84. 84. If this is 84, I'm not going to insert. So I'll get a message. What is the problem? The stack is full. Okay, stack is full. That is what actually. Only you are not able to insert more than your saturated point. That is what. In a similar manner, pop also. So what's the meaning of pop operation? So pop is nothing but taking the items outside. Okay. So what will happen? First compare it. So what is this 2000? 2000 comma SP. What's the meaning of that? 2000 means obviously it is your ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2000 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದಪ್ಪ, which is your 2100 ಇಲ್ಲಿ 100 ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಒಂದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ 104. ಹೌದಾ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? 104 ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದು. 100 ಇದ್ರೆ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ನೀವು ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಟಿಲ್ 100 ಬಿಕಾಸ್ 100 ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಒಂದು 104 ಇದ್ರೆ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಐಟಮ್. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ 104 ಕಮ SP ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್? ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? Because if your address is 100, you have an element inside that you can take out. But 104 idre you are not able to take because next to 100. Next to 100 means what? Here it is. 104 means here, isn't it? This is 104. Pointing to -1. -1 andre no, this location you are not able to access the data. Okay. So like this we have a code available here. So if it is greater than 0, empty error. Stack is empty. You are not able to take out. Otherwise, move that item into the that particular SP element in that location into the item variable. Okay, copy that item. So what's that item? Suppose 80 at that 88 location I have a D. Okay, pop out that and keep it one variable. What's that variable? Item is the variable. So I've copied this data D and I've kept in the variable item. That's all. Pushing and popping operation. Clear with this? Clear? A little bit knowledge. If your stack is already full, you are not able to insert the item. If your stack is already empty, you are not able to take out the item or pop out the item. That's all. Simple. Okay, this is memory. Okay, I'm doing with the memory locations. I'm not taken other any device. Inside the memory only, how to do the stack operation. That's all. Okay. Okay. Come to the point of function. You know no functions, functions of function. Already aware of it, no? You already know what is subroutines, right? What is subroutine? Anybody knows what is subroutines? So very simple, right? Okay, I'll write here one small program to you. Okay. See, when I write the program, I'll write one simple program. Let me type here. Then you are able to understand what is subroutine, right? Okay, I'll type here. Void main. I'll take main program directly, okay? So I'm not writing, I don't want complete program to be right, okay? But to explain the logic of subroutine, I want this small program, okay? So this like this, okay? So inside this main program, I have one function, function1 or function add, I'll write, add a comma b. Okay, now is it okay if I do like this? Okay. So now what will happen? Ends. Here I'll write a function. What's a function? Fun. It's a function, addition function. Okay. Int a, comma int b. So I'm doing the operation here. Addition operation. What operation? Something else. Full declaration of variables and all I'm not going to write here. Just what is the operation it's performing, that I am going to tell you. Return C. Return C. Is it fine now? Program. Is this program correct? Okay, function adder. Okay. So inside main I have one function here. Inside main I have function addition. I want to do the addition operation. Okay. So what I'll do, the main is not performing that work. Okay. So it will call some other. Okay, somebody else to do the work. That is known as subroutine. Okay, so now function add will be called here. So this is now calling function. What is this? This is said to be calling function. This is calling function. This is called function. Okay, so this has been called now by the main. So function add will call the function. So this will be called by the main. So now this will be performed. Okay, function addition. After the addition has been happened, I'm going to send the result back, isn't it? I'm supposed to send the result back. It is said to be a subroutine. Okay, so subroutines means what? So the main will be allocate, the subtasks by subroutines. Okay, instead of the main should do the work, it will allocate its task to somebody else. Okay, that is said to be subroutine. Or in another way, the very big task will be divided into n number of subtasks. Is it okay? So then will be divided into n number of subroutines. So function will be a very big. The task is very big. So what I'll do, the very big task I'm going to divide it into small. Not audible. No audio. Is it no audible? No audio. No audio. Yeah. It's audible. I can make out here. Yeah, no, I'm audible. I think, yeah, I'm audible now. Okay, so what will happen? So for this separately I'll write function, small function, no, as I've done for add. So I've read a separate function for task 1, that is subroutine. Okay, subroutine 1, this is subroutine 2, this is subroutine 3. Okay, subroutine is subtask. I hope you are able to understand. Okay, like this, I'm going to take the function. Okay, subroutine. This is one of my subroutine. Okay, now just imagine. What's it imagination? Just see you. What will happen if you are going to type the program? You're going to keep the program in the memory. Okay, in void main, your complete program, I'm going to keep inside the memory, right? So here is I have a memory. So I'm going to type complete program, one line by one line. Or completely I'm going to write the program. Right? What will happen? See, when this function will be called, I've called this function, isn't it? I've called this function. So I'll come directly to this. So after this program will be executed, subtask, I should return, no, I should come back to this. So how can I make out this is the address? See, your program counter will be having the starting address. Okay, so void main is your first instruction. So PC will be having the void main line, address. Next line like that. After this program, what I will do, I'm going to have a subroutine call. Okay, I'll go to this particular line address and I'll execute this line. After this, I should go back to this location. So where how can I come to know this is the address? This is where you are supposed to return back, isn't it? I hope you are clear, no? You are getting my words? Your program counter will be this, executed. Program counter this, okay, executed. Program counter means what? The address of the current instruction, whichever you are executing. So this is your PC, yes, address, I have executed this. After this, I'll go to here, this location. I'll execute this, and I can go back to this location. Where? How can I go back? I don't know what's the return address only, right? That is why I required one register. Okay, in that register, what I will do, I'm going to keep the address of your return. After you execute the subroutine, come back to this location. Okay, that particular address is known or it is provided in a register known as linkage register. Please see that linkage register. One of the extra register I'm going to use it here. Okay, the best example is they have given in the here only they have given. Okay, just see here. ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಇದು ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇದು ತೊಗೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ವಾ? ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಬರಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಇದು? ಇದು ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಈಗ ತೊಗೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ತೊಗೊತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ನೋಡಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನಲ್ಲ, ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಬರಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅದು?
ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
ನೋ 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 ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗಲೇ
ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಇರೋದನ್ನು
ಈಗ ನಾನು ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಐ ಡಿಲೀಟೆಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ. ನಾವು ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್. ಇದು ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್, ಈಗ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕು.
ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ.
ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ನೋಡಿ. ಈಗ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ
ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ.
ಸಡನ್ನಾಗಿ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕದು. ಅದು ತೊಗೊತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಸರಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಂದು ನಾನು ನೋಡಿ ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಐ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಯರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ತೊಗೊಳೋದು. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದು ನನಗೆ? Okay, just a minute. I'm uploading the presentation. Okay. Yeah, I think just see you. Okay, just see this. Okay, I think you are able to see clearly now. Okay, you are able to see this, no? See, what they have provided here is one small program, okay? This is one of the program, calling program, okay? They have not written complete program, just see here, just see the flow actually. So here is a 200, 204, okay, this is the address, memory address. The program is available here. Assume you have a program available here, okay? So what I will do, after this instruction executed, first instruction, second instruction, third instruction, I have one more instruction known as call. See, I'm calling the program. What's the name of the calling, what program I'm calling? I'm calling SUB. One subroutine I'm calling. As soon as I'm calling the subroutine, okay, this instruction, whenever I'm executing the subroutine, what will happen? I should jump to that particular subroutine, isn't it? Okay, see here, my subroutine program is somewhere here at the location 1000 location. See here, my subroutine, whichever I call, that is 1000 address location. Okay, my subroutine is not next to 204 location program, so it is available in some jump. No, I'm jumping to some other subroutine. That is why I'll reach 1000. As soon as I go to 1000, what will happen? I'm going to execute complete instructions. Okay, so suppose this is a main program. Assume this is a main program. This is subroutine. Okay, what is subroutine? Addition. I already given an example. Addition program. Okay, subroutine addition. Okay, I've done and the program starts at address 1000. I'm going to execute the complete program. I should return back. Here I should return back to this address. What's my next instruction I want to execute? The next instruction I want to execute is 204. Okay, so at 200 I've called my subroutine. Okay, so now the subroutine program will be completely executed. After it executed, I should come back to my void main, right? Whichever the program called, I should come back. See here, so as soon as I come back, I should have a 204 location. You should know this. This is what your return address. For that purpose, I'm going to have one simple, register known as linkage register. Just here, linkage register. What it's going to do is here, program counter. What's the current program which is executing? 200. Right? This line will be executing. This is the instruction which is executing. Now what I will do after this 200, which line I am supposed to execute? Now 204, because it is subroutine. It will go to the subroutine function. So what is the address of that? 1000, right? So for the program counter, instead of 204, I am going to store 1000. Okay, and after you went to the subroutine, you should execute the subroutine and come back to your main program. So where you are going to reach after your returning, you should reach to 204. Next address is 204. Okay, that is why I will keep this 204 in the linkage register. Is it okay if I keep 204 here? I'll keep 204. Okay, now 204 I've kept in linkage register, and the next instruction, that means what? Subroutine next instruction I'm going to execute is 1000. That's why I've written 1000 here. So now what will happen? So now complete program will be executed. As soon as complete program is executed, I should return back. Okay, so return back to 204. So where is it available? Here, in this one. Okay, this 204, the same 204, I'm going to store it in the PC program counter. Okay, so now what will happen? My program counter will be loaded with 204, means I should come back to 204 and I'll start execution. I'll start execution. Okay, this is what. I hope you are clear. Okay, so I think I will change the address. I'll change the address and you should give me the answer. Okay. Yeah, I'll change the address and let me ask you the question. Shall I change the address now? I'll take the default presentation. Okay, I'll take the default presentation just a second. Okay. Yeah. You should give me the answer, okay? Okay, now give me the answer. Okay, I'll write the program, some code I'll write here. Okay, just here. At location 250, have an instruction, okay? Something known as add A, comma B. After this, just here 254. 254. Here, call subroutine. I don't know which subroutine. Okay, some subroutine. Okay, so after this subroutine function, I'll call 258. Okay, at 258, I have some instruction. I don't know which instruction. For reference, I will write here some move A, comma. Okay, now subroutine is there, no? My subroutine will be here. Okay, just here my subroutine will be subroutine. This is what my subroutine is. This will be somewhere in the address 400. Okay, it will be at the 400 location. I'll write instruction. One instruction will be there. That is some LD A, comma C. Next instruction. Okay, add F, comma G, like that. Next will be Okay, sorry. You only muted actually. Okay, I'm in the caller. So sorry. Okay, ba. ಈಗ question ಇದೆ. Can you tell me what is PC? Type the answer first. Okay, type the answer first. What is PC? PC address. Okay, this is main. Okay, this is main function. Okay, this is subroutine. Subroutine is at the address 400. Okay, I am labeled you for your reference. I have labeled here. Subroutine starting address is 400. Now my question to you is, what is PC first? The program, the current line which is executing, that is what PC address. What is PC now? ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಸೈಫ್ ನನಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೇನ್ರೆ? ನಾನು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ನನ್ನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಯಾ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ 250 exactly. Yeah, so current line, current instruction which is executing is 250. So 250 is the address. Okay, so now, okay, this line is executing. After this line will be executed, what's my next will be 254. Okay, so now PC will be incremented to 254. Okay, now 254. Okay, next after 254, what's my next instruction? PC. Ega 254 I've incremented. Next what is next after 254? No, wrong, Mohammed Saif. Yeah, it is 400. Why? Because here it's a subroutine. I called a subroutine 400 ado. So now 254 will gone, 400 will come. But actually already to correct. Mohammed Saif ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ 258 ಅಂತ. That's also correct actually. You know, whenever this line will be executing, no, by that time program counter will be incremented to 258. Actually 258 increment ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, but as soon as I seen this subroutine, now my data will be jumped to 400. I know, because of my calling function. Okay, I'll jump to this. But this 258 is there, no? That's the next instruction address. Okay, this 258, I want to keep it somewhere. Why I want to keep this somewhere? So after this completely executed, I should come back to this line, right? This calling function. After I have completed the calling function, I should come back, right? Should come back. That means what? Return address. So this return address is next 258 only. Okay, so these 258, I should keep it in one more register because PC will be 400. I can't manipulate it, but 258 is required because after returning, I should come back to 258. So which register I have to use? Which register? For that purpose only I am using extra register. Which register is that? LR, that is linkage register. Okay, so in LR, I'll keep 258. Is it okay if I keep 258? Yes. Now what will happen? I'm going to execute 400 line executed. Next to 404 executed. Next 408 executed. Next ಇದು 404 408 ಇದು 404 12. Okay, so I'll execute this. So as soon as I come to know this return, where I should go, what is my next PC will be? After return, I should next instruction to execute. What's it? PC now. PC ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? PC address ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Program which line I want to execute. Yeah, it becomes 258. That means what? This LR I should copy to what? I should copy this LR to my PC. For this PC, I should copy this 258. I hope you are clear, isn't it? What is PC? What is linkage register? Understood? Now the content of 258 will be copied to my program counter. Okay, over. Okay, so this linkage register I don't want. Only when I require subroutine return address, then only I will use LR. Otherwise, next after this I don't want my LR. Okay, I'll go on with my PC. Next 258 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರಪ್ಪ 262. Next to 266. Like that I'll go on execute it. I hope you are clear. Everybody understood the concept? Clear? Clear ಆಯ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್, ಕ್ಯೂ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ದಿಸ್ ಸಬ್ರೋಟಿನ್, ಲಿಂಕೇಜ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? I think maximum of you went understood, right? So subroutine means should call that keep that that address in the linkage register. Okay, yeah, I think you are able to understand very clearly. Okay, so by this I think one concept is left actually. If I complete that one concept, almost we have completed first module. I think a little bit here only we have a small concept of better. I'll take it in next class only. Otherwise, clear? No, everybody understood? Okay. Okay, I think everyone understood. We have an example program. Better if I take in next class because again you will get stuck here. Okay, so better. Okay, this I'll do it in next class. Stack frame is the one concept which is left actually in this module, but I'll do it in next class. It's better because today only I explained the stack concept. So if I tell more, you may get confusion. I don't want to continue. I know. Okay. So this particular diagram is an example. Okay. So this you have to give an example and you should explain. Okay. I think see assignment question today we are going to if possible today I'll give, otherwise tomorrow Sunday I'll upload in by God. Okay, a little bit small modification is there in the in that assignment. I'll just modify a little bit and you study. Okay, notes I have given and even textbook is there in the by God. We are already uploaded, so go through that, understand the complete module 1 and we will give you the what is that assignment question. You can do it at home. Okay, so any doubts, if you have any doubts, please come to line and speak to me using the microphone, or you pose the question here. Okay, by that time I'll take the attendance. Okay. Okay, Hasta is present.
Yes, ma'am.
This is I'm calling Asta. Asta was absent. No. Okay. Next is Abdullah Yusuf Khan.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Next Abhijit. Abhijit present. Okay. Abhishek.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Abhishek. Abhishek Mishra. Abhishek Mishra present. Abhishek Mishra. Yesterday why you are absent, Abhishek? Huh? You should be regular to the class, Abhishek. Just regular idhara you absent agilla. Why you are absent, Abhishek? Adish. Adish present. Aditya.
Present, ma'am.
Aditya. Why Aditya? You are absent yesterday. Tell me, Aditya, what's your problem?
Ma'am, power supply was not there yesterday, so I was unable to connect to the class.
Okay. Be regular, okay. Aditya Pratap.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, Aditya. Aditya Raj.
Present, ma'am.
Akanksha. Akanksha. Okay, present. Chakravardhan. Chakravardhan present. Akshat. No, sorry. Akshat. Akshat present. Amog.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, Amog. Anaga.
Yes, ma'am, present.
Okay, Anaga. Anagashri. Anagashri. Yes, she is absent. Ananya.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Shivani. Shivani present. Okay, Shivani. Ankit. Ankit Kumar. Okay. Ankita Niranjan. Ankita, why you are absent yesterday? You are absent now, Ankita. Why Ankita you are absent yesterday? Okay, you should be regular. Anusha. Okay, Anusha. Apurva.
Present, ma'am.
Apurva. Okay, Apurva. Apurva M.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, Aryan. Aryan present. Azim. Azim present. Bhanupriya.